All right, everybody, we do apologize for that. We had to reset our feed. And as we reset our feed, we just had our first qualifying of the Glory Nitro. And then we have some rain coming. So they just stopped the race for a few minutes, to let the rain pass. So while they do that, we're just going to talk RC. So let's get our chat going here, so we can have a chat with you all. But now the story is we have rain once again. According to the radar, it's only supposed to be 5%, and it's raining. So it's definitely more than a 5% chance, but the wind is blowing pretty strong, so it's going to blow these clouds away. Like I said, this track drains extremely fast, so I'm expecting us to be on track once the rain stops without a problem. So bear with us. But in the meantime, let's talk RC while we're here. As I'm just bringing up the YouTube chats, I'm also in the YouTube and the Facebook chats. Let me get this shirt out. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, everybody. Let's talk RC while we pass the rain. Ooh. And just as I say that, it comes down a little bit harder. Oh, man. This is definitely a very challenging situation for all the racers and the track crew here after the hard work they've put into to have this rain come. As you can see, the track does not hold a lot of water. So I'm foreseeing once this rain passes, we'll be back on the track within a few minutes. Yes, it'd be a little bit slippery, but that's going to be the same for everybody. But we are back up on YouTube and back up on Facebook. And of course, all the talk for the last week has been about the World Championships. And now we get today we get the notice that it will be heading back to Redovon. Hello. Okay, Kim, how are you? Please share this. We are in a rain delay right now. So, one person asked, RC Racing, Savoia stuff? Yes, so Savoia, not all his stuff. I talked to him yesterday, but when he got here Tuesday night, I believe. Wednesday night it might have been. No, Tuesday night. He just went, he parked his car outside his hotel, and somebody smashed the window, and they stole his book bags, which had his batteries, his computers, his passport, and his radio. So that happened to him. But that happens at lots of races. I've been to where people have had their cars broken into. Right now we're having a rain break because the rain is coming down steadily. But I can see that we have some clear skies coming. Race, break, repeat. Do you think Serpent is coming out with a new SRX8? Seems like they have been taking their time with their 8-scale program. I think their 8-scale program is all but stopped. In my opinion, I don't think we'll see a new SRX8. It's a great car. Maybe they will, but unfortunately, there's one Serpent guy here. I know there's a few Serpent races. I know Sweden has a bunch of Serpent racers as well, but in the USA there are no Serpent racers that I know of. What's up, Mike Hill? How you doing? K-Swap Swap. Got a little rain going on here. But as I said, this track drains very fast. So if you guys have any questions, you want to talk RC, go ahead. I'm here. We're not doing anything. We can have a little virtual podcast, a live podcast. We can't have a lefty off the record, but we can definitely talk RC. So as soon as this rain stops and they get some of the water off the track, we'll be starting the Heat 2 of the intermediate Nitro Buggy qualifying. So they are taking, we're doing like a seeding qualifying, so they're taking your best 3 laps that you can put together. Due to such a big change in with the weather and how the track's developing, they're trying to make it as fair as possible, but very hard to do when you're dealing with the elements. All right, so there's everybody out there. As you can see, maybe we'll get out there and have a chat with some of them. We got the Killex and Barcan there. Maybe we go have a chat with them when we get some more people in the chat. All right, everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all set up to go to our interview cam out there and have a few words with some of the racers and see what they say. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with some interviews with everybody while we wait for the rain to cease. So keep sharing this. Get everybody in here. Let's get the Killix over there to talk to them. The Parentes don't speak English, but I can speak Spanish to them. And we will have a chat with some of the pro guys, some of the... It's a little bit cold, Mike. It's a little bit cold. But I got a nice jacket here. And I wish I would have bought my big jacket now. And it's supposed to be colder where we're going. Hello, Mrs. Ivanen. Too bad Pecco isn't here. I know he was racing in the ETS last week. Everything is okay with Pecco. So as we get set up to go do some interviews, as we wait for the rain to stop, like I said, coming over, we see there's clear skies coming over. So that's not a problem. We will have some stories. Hello, Mike. How are you? How's things going at the Easter GP? Does that start tomorrow? I forget that it's Easter. It's Good Friday today, or Viernes Santo, as we say in Spanish. So, yep, the rain is stopping. Soon the track crew will go out there and start removing some of the water, and the cars will start back up, and we will get cracking again. Oh, Pedro Rico, Pits, Restream bot. Okay, so we're using Restream with this. Okay. Cool. Pedro Rico says Pits. We can't do a complete pit walkabout, but what I can do is get some interviews over there. If you want to go? Let's go. We're going to take a pause, and I'm going to go out there and do some interviews. All right, everybody. I just went out tried to get some interviews. Everybody has gone down to the lunch area to get some food. So let's just chat RC. Do you guys have any questions for me in the chat? Put them in there and let me know. Andrew Bucamp says this track looks like a blast to run on. Absolutely. You got to see when it's all glued up and it's sunny outside. It is like high traction, like it's super fast. Pedro Rico, I wanted to interview the Killick brothers, but they have gone. So I cannot interview them. Little Bump, definitely a bucket list track. Oh, here I am. Oh, let me put my hat on. I got bad hair day. Oh, there's my hat going wrong. All righty then. So ask me any questions you want. The rain has stopped, and they are getting on the track to start sweeping it off and get people back out there. It's a very unfortunate day for all the event organizers and the racers that made the trip over here, that the weather is not cooperating with us. It's very hard. Obviously, we cannot control the weather. If we did, we would have a lot of power. So it just kind of is what it is. And we will focus on waiting for the cars to get back on the track. The track is already drying as we speak. It does not hold a lot of water. And people will get back and running. It'll be a little bit slippery. We'll see some four-wheel drifts and all that type of good stuff. But it'll be exciting. So ask me any questions. I know you guys have questions. I know the big topic of the day is the World Championships going back to Redavon. Even shocked myself when I saw that this morning. So I know that other tracks were looking to hold it. Exotech says, Lefty, at least you got more hair on the head than me. Yeah. It's starting to thin out a little bit, as I got older. And obviously, I worked with JQ for 5 years, so that's why I met JQ, most of my beard was mostly black. So, yeah, working with that man would make anybody's beard go gray. Exeter, I did see your comment on our latest, on the podcast from show 277. I actually agree with everything you said. So now you got to watch me. And there we go. Let's see if we can see what the weather's looking like out there. So ask me any questions. Let's talk RC. We got 66 people watching on Facebook. Only 9 people there in Facebook land. I, too, am waiting for a sandwich to have some lunch myself. We got people playing foosball over there. Just playing foosball. Derek says, at least it's not the same. I know that's all I got. Was kind of shocked they went back to the same place, but it works, I guess. Well, so I've been thinking about this and playing it around in my mind. I did talk to the Baldo brothers and to confirm that they will do a complete track change. And yes, I am. I mean, I went to the Worlds in 2022. It was exceptional. I think it's the first RC event that I've been to where I actually felt like I was at a full-scale event. I remember the Saturday when the finals were on, and I looked around the track, and the amount of people that were there I was just like, oh, wow, this is a big deal. And no, there was no rubber. There's no oil on this track, Trip. They use glue. There you can see the water. That's the water coming through the earth and coming down. That's been steady like that since I got her yesterday. What is this track length? I'd say it is about maybe 175 feet in length and about maybe 125 feet in depth. I know the highest point of the track is that very corner where that seat is overturned, and that's actually on level with the driver's stand. Yes, the Exotech, the comment about the A and B mains, that I actually said that where we should schedule the races around so that the pro guys we have, we can schedule and to go out there. I agree with that. Raymond Remzo, what gives it the yeah, the color of the dirt, man? It's like it's reddish. It's actually more like a red color. So yeah. Yeah, Trip. They haven't got. So this track has come. People out there may be asking what a glue track is. So this track uses a glue. They'll use like the regular Elmer's glue that kids used to eat in kindergarten. They used to use to glue all your, whatever you had to do for school when you was young. So they take that type of glue and they mix it with about 3 to 4 gallons of water. That's the mix or whatever. Obviously, they mix it in some bigger barrels, and then they apply coats and coats and coats and seal the entire track. Which, when it's sealed up and it dries up, it's actually too much traction, and then you have to wait for the cars to get some rubber on it and then get some oil on it, and it actually gets to where the cars slide a little bit, and it makes it good. Well, obviously, it's been raining. That novel, they do have the glue on there, but what the glue does is it still seals the track to an extent where the water does not penetrate. As you can see, we have puddles, but otherwise it's just wet on the top, so people can still drive on it. Yes, Edward Seal, like white glue that you used when you was in school, that kids use, exactly that. We used to do that in Dominican Republic, and on one of our tracks. So I have a pretty idea how it works. It holds the water off just a little bit, and yes, white paper glue. Like I say Elmer's glue because we got it from America, but that white glue that you used when you was a kid, and that seals the track and actually seals the red parts. So the water is not able to penetrate deep and give you that big mud. There you see it's just pooling up. So they'll go in a little while and sweep that off. Yes, the track will be slippery, but once the cars get on there, it actually starts grooving up. And if the sun was out, it would bake it and it would dry off a lot faster. So, yeah. You used that years ago, says Edward Seal. Yes, you guys use over there in Secular Verde, like molasses mix. Yes, which, man, I wish I was coming to the Philippines in 3 weeks' time. That track looks awesome. The Asian Buggy Championship's awesome. I enjoy the coverage. I love it. Good job to you guys. I hope whenever the worlds come to FEMCA that it's at your track, because I want to go to the Philippines, and you guys have a very, very nice track there in the Philippines. So, awesome. Toby Master still has my name on the heat sheets. Family first. I'll try again next year. Yeah, Toby, I know your son was sick. I hope he's feeling better. It's, even though we're not getting to the racing, we are still trying to have some fun here, trying to be positive as well. One day, Edward, one day I'll get over there. One day. You got to figure out how to get me over there and I don't know, do some commentary along with Scotty, or do commentary and interview, or somehow work along with the live stream somehow, some way. But I'll be watching. I enjoyed last year's racing as well. So, very good. Pedro Rico, Nitro, yes. Coming up as soon as they dry out here. We'll have some Nitro racing. Yes, Philippines track is nice, man. It is, and it's smooth, man. It jumps. Like I was, when I think back when I watched RCGP and the other Philippine Masters and then last year's Asian Buggy Championship, like the transitions and the jumps. As myself, as a driver, I would probably not be able to do that without crashing 1,000 times. But I love watching people go around it fast. It's absolutely great. So we shall see. All right, so we are back. I wish I could make it to the Philippines, but work schedule says Rax on RC. Greg Holland, how are you? The glue reacts. The glue is good, man. If this track was not glued, we would have so much mud out there right now. So the cars are coming off dirty, but they're not coming off caked. Right now, you could go out there and drive. It will be slippery, but the cars will be dirty, but it wouldn't be mud caked on the cars. So that's good. Toby Master says, I think I saw the wife on Montpellier in 2025. She wants to come to the south of France. I better teach her how to pit. Absolutely. Absolutely. Trip Jones says, are you going to B&B? Unfortunately, I will not be at P&B Trip. I'm actually staying here in Portugal for the extra week. We actually go up to Guarda next week for the EFRA E-Buggy World Cup. So for those of you that want to know about the World Cup is how it works is before. So obviously there's going to be an E-Buggy World Championship next year. It's going to be actually at this track here in Barcelos at the B-Buggy Arena. So the IFMAR rules state before you can have actual World Championship, you must have a World Cup race. It's about proving that the federation can handle it or stuff like that, I do believe. I'm not familiar with the actual rule. So they were supposed to have it last year. They was not able to get it done. So they're having it this year, next week. It will be the same guys who I'm working with now doing the coverage, as well as RC Racing TV will be here. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of entries for that. But I'm sure next year when we do the actual World Championship, there will be enough entries here for that. So as e-buggy is very popular around the world. I mean, here at the Euros, you got 150 entries, and it's just e-buggy, like 150 e-buggies. So I'm sure we'll see the Americans come over and race and whatnot here, which will be great because I'm looking forward to seeing them come over here to this beautiful arena. I was talking to the figure raters. They will put in a different layout for that track as well. Well, I know a lot of people ask about layout changes. Well, in Europe, they don't do much layout changes. They kind of leave the tracks in how they go, and they'll make small changes here and there. It's also not as easy to make track changes like it is in America. I mean, if you came here and you saw this track, you would see what I mean. So, absolutely. As for P&B, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be packed. They're going to do a good job. I see the Vikings going over there. All the top names in America will be there. So that's going to be a good race. Derek, Asali, we did start, but we have a thing called rain. And right now, that's been affecting us right now. It's raining again as I speak. So it's been rain, sun, rain, stop, no rain, then lots of rain, then stop for a little bit. So unfortunate that's going on at the moment. So we're just here asking questions, talking to you guys. The problem with the glue, that's the issue. When you put sealant down on tracks and all that stuff, one, it's expensive. Two, it makes the track changes a little bit difficult, you know? So it is something that can be done, but every time you make a track change every 3 months, can you afford to put $500-$600 worth of glue on there? That's the problem, along with the actual track build. So it's been done in America before. I've seen glue tracks. This isn't new. It's been around for quite some time. As Edward Co. said, they did it at the Philippines track before. They've always used some sort of sealant. I remember one year, Silver State, when it was at the RC Tracks America in Vegas, they put a sealant down as well, more like a sealant for BMX racing, I believe. So they did that. That was different too. That was like more like almost like rubber. I know down in Australia, at one of their tracks, their 10-skill race, they use a similar type of sealant. So if you ever been to like a BMX track and how hard packed that is and sealed, that's what we're looking at. Jeff Damon says, depends if it keeps the track better for longer. Yeah, I get that, but the American way of racing is they want different layouts, you know, so it it's a kind of, you know, it's a hard thing to do. You know, if you do a layout change every 3 months, then you gotta put all the glue on it, and it's also it's something that has to be reapplied. You know who has a glue track? Hoosier RC Hobbyplex is actually a glue track. Also, but it's indoors. It's 10 scale. Coyote Hobbies, I think it is, or Davy Bado's track, wherever that is, in SoCal. No, where is he to? Up in Victorville. That is actually glue as well. I think New Reds in Florida is glue as well, but that's all indoor tracks, and that's a little easier to maintain. So, yeah, I like that too. I like all types of tracks, right? So there's a place for all types of tracks. I know at the 2022 Worlds they also sealed it some way. I think they used glue or something as well, but not the entire track. There's certain parts. The thing is, when parts do start to break up on the glue track, it puts a fine layer of dust and it makes it actually very slippery. So, yeah, but XXX might also be better to make a thin layer of coarse concrete and spread some dust on it to make it loamy. So that was actually pretty much what the 2014 World Championship track was like in Italy. It was pretty much just concrete, and it had dust on it, and it was just ended up being concrete. The issue is also concrete is expensive, and you gotta imagine you gotta. So how they apply this is they get like a big hose and pump it out and spray it all over the track, right? So it seals the track. Like even the red sections of that track, you know how at most races when they paint the interior of the track or where the turn marshals, it kind of wears away after a day. This doesn't wear away. It's wearing away now because obviously they've been walking on it. It's wet and all that type of stuff. But this track is completely sealed. Like when I say sealed, like even the outside of it is sealed. So it did start to get a little bit rough. Last year, some parts did break up, and it just, the dust in certain areas makes it a little bit hard. But what you can't see is the elevation. So let's take this S section right here that we're looking at, where you see these two go-kart tires. The video does not do justice how steep. If you see the second tire where you make the left-hand turn, if you are not literally 1 or 2 inches off the pipe, if you go further than that, 6 inches or more, you literally just slide down to the bottom. And when I say it's steep, it is steep. So what this track makes up for in maybe not having track changes all the time, it makes up for in the actual elevation that it has. So it is, I believe Miguelo from Buggyland built this track. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see he has a very, I've seen a few of Miguelo's tracks now, so I recognize his style that he does it. If you want to see some running videos of this, go to my Instagram on the No Name RC podcast, Instagram and Facebook. I took some videos this morning, but I also have some videos from last year, just quick reels. So, and we also did the stream last year. It was actually a very good A final last year between Juan Carlos Canas and Davide Angaro. And Yal Figueiredo actually was doing very well here as well. It's his home track, but a great race where it actually came down to the wire between Canas and Angaro. Canas. It was an exceptional event. I was going absolutely ballistic in her. It was actually the first time I ever called a race completely on my own. So it was quite fun. And as I say that, we have more rain coming down, so it's unfortunate. But I'm here to hang out with you guys and talk to you. So if you have any more questions, just let me know. We'll go in. We'll talk about that. Let's talk about the exciting racing we've had in 2024. And I know we're at another race, but we're not racing at the moment. But we have a big race coming up next week, which is PMB. It's going to be absolutely stacked. We saw that the Viking, David Ronnefalk, is making a trip over there for the first time. And that's going to be exciting to see, going over there in his X-ray car. Looking, I mean, David is a threat whatever track, whatever race he goes to. So I'm expecting him to do good things over there. I was talking to Dave about the track as well. He said it's going to be very technical. There's no joker lane. There's no wall ride. So it's going to be very technical. People are getting pumped up about it. It's good to see. So let's look at some of the big races that we've had this year so far. So we've had, in 8 scale, we've had the Southern Indoor Championships, which was was it in January? Yep, January, where we saw a different winner with Brandon Rose taking the win, which was excellent. Then fast forward a few weeks later, about a month later, where we had the first big European race, which was the Montpellier GP, which has been going on for 33 years. This is also going to be where they're going to have the Electric European Championships this year as well. So it had a big turnout with all the top talent in Europe, where we saw a really great race to the end between Ricardo Berton, Canas, and Ongaro, where Ricardo Berton and the Infinity took the win. But Ongaro was extremely faster, and so was Canas. Then we fast forward to about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, the Dirt Nitro Challenge, the 25th running of that over in Paris, over there in Paris, where there was a huge race. Lots of Europeans came over, and it was absolutely, it was extremely a good race. It was well done. Elliot Boots took the win with Runner Falcon second. In a great Nitro Buggy final, we saw Juan Carlos Canas take the E-Buggy final as well. So lots of good racing coming up. And of course, we have Psycho Nitro Blast coming up this week as well. 1 second, everybody. I'll be right back. Racks on RC. Here in Australia, you have to modify the track by at least 25% for state titles or nationals. For some reason, though, people here want new layouts every 6 months, but the cost is super prohibitive. Yes, I will say that in the USA, doing track layouts is probably less costly than other places because of the ease of rental equipment, and you see track changes a lot easier done in the USA. Obviously, through my travels a lot over this last 7 years, you know, it's not usually when they have a big race, they do a completely new layout. You know, of course, then you have the stadium races, like the race time events and Mark Moon's races, were all held under a stadium where you come in the week before and build a complete new track, and then it's torn down within 24 hours after it's been done. So when it comes to making track changes, and the Americans have, track builders have figured it out. They do a great job. They're able to do a layout in maybe 2 or 3 days and get something done there, complete layout. The way they build their tracks as well, they're not, you know, they don't use a lot of concrete curbing or, you know, stuff that's not permanent. Whereas here in Europe, take Radovan, for instance, where the Worlds are going to be in September, they actually have a concrete section of whoops. Now, I don't expect that to go anywhere. That should be there. And it's also multi-level. Just like this track. This track is it has so much elevation. So that's a lot of dirt to move. So in America, a lot of the tracks are usually flat, not so much elevation. The elevation's kind of built into it. But when you go to a track like Radovan, it's actually on a hill. So it goes downhill. Like the pit's on top, and you go right down. You actually go down. You have to go down at least 30, 35 feet from the very top. So it's a completely different type of track built into the side of a hill. All right. So Exotech says, 101 said, it would be better and more affordable for track owners to not change the layout so often, but people rotate and sometimes drive on the tracks to get a change in the way to benefit and other track owners also. Yeah, I know it's definitely a little bit more expensive to change tracks. It's expensive to change tracks here in Europe and whatnot. So it's a bit different. We still got 75 people. Unfortunately, it's still sprinkling a little bit here. It's not raining very hard, just lightly. But to risk, they don't want to. Also, the biggest fear is a tire marshal slipping and getting hurt because it is slippery out there. So they are they just want the rain to stop. Then they'll get the water off, and that gives it some time for it to dry out. But people are still here, and they're just waiting for the track to dry. And yeah. I'm sorry, they just played a joke on me. So my buddy went to get me a sandwich, and he brought me back this like little bag says doner kebab, and it just has lettuce in it. I was shocked. Uh, but yes, like I said, just waiting for the rain. The wind is actually pushing everything to the town way, and I'm looking where it's no rain coming. There's no rain clouds. It's cloudy. We actually had sun today, which was good. So.
Não dou nada. Chama-se, é passou, não dou nada. Liga ao iPhone de obra. Não dou nada?
All right. So everybody's going quiet. What else should we talk about today? All right. Who thinks that the Viking can win PMB? There's a good question. I know this guy does. It'd be interesting to see. He's never been to that race. He is on open tire, so he can go on any tire that he wishes. Will be the best. So that's going to be a big advantage for him. It's going to be crazy because they have the 24-hour practice. Already, it's going to be a big race. Looking at some of the entry counts, I wish all my friends there good luck as well. We will be in Guarda next weekend. It's just a few hours north here, and they tell me it's colder. So I did not pack. I did not pack clothes for colder weather, but I do have a jacket. But definitely have to go find some gloves and maybe a sweat top to put under her. I should have bought my hoodie. But unfortunately, it's Easter time here. It's crazy. It doesn't even feel like Easter to me. Usually I'd be home just chilling. Back home in Bermuda, Easter, Good Friday was always a good day. Just like, when will we resume the race? When Mother Nature says so. Right now we are raining. Right now it is raining. I think you're Spanish. Hoy empieza otra vez cuando pare la lluvia. Está lloviendo un poco ahora. Exotech. What tires does David use in this race? David will use what, he's not at this race. But he'll use whatever tires he wants at PMB. So he can use J Concepts. Any other Euro drivers attending PMB and B? No, Edward. No other ones attending. They all are talking about going to the AMS in November. So just David. I think he's the biggest European name to go to PMB. So I know Dave is super excited about that. And it's good because it's good for the racers of the Southeast. They get to see some other racers as well. Edward, who is coming over to the Philippines? I know Ryan Lutz. I know McBride. Who else will be coming? Bauman says, coffee time. Hey, Bauman, I watched you run out there, man. Your car is fast. Very fast. You was driving pretty good, too. So, good job. I need a cappuccino in my life, too, David Bauman. So, I think in what, 3 weeks' time? 3 weeks' time, we have the Asian Buggy Championships in Philippines, Edward? I think it's the third weekend of April, I think. Yes, third weekend of April. Well, I know it's the same weekend as the 10 scale off-road dirt nationals at Beach RC. Pavidas is coming at the Sparkly Sparko. Lutz is coming too. I think Lutz is committed to all four of the events. So it's happening April 18th to the 21st. Robert did not make the trip. I think he saw the weather forecast and being as his first Easter with his young newborn son, Niels, he decided to stay home. Oh, Jorn Newman's coming. That's great. Jorn No-Hat Newman. He's still fast. Woof. I watched him. I met him for the first time at the Florida Carpet Championships last year. So we got the track crew going out there to brush off the track. So that means that cars will be hitting the track very shortly. Awesome, Edward. I look forward to the coverage and the race. I know that the crew that Scotty's got over there, the Australian guys and Tony Firth, and then we have the podcast guy who does the written stuff. And I know Zach's involved. So Zach's got spreadsheets all over the place. How do I hate spreadsheets? But Zach loves them. So you guys are doing a great job of the coverage over there. It's excellent. Like I said, I hope to get over there and be a part of that one day. I'm pretty sure if I go to the Philippines, I'm probably not going to want to come back. So I like it here in Portugal, too. So no battling Battier in the finals. Nope. Robert didn't make it, unfortunately. I don't know what's going to happen here with the rain and whatnot. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. It's supposed to rain Sunday. They're still trying to get the race in, so we'll see. It's unfortunate for the organizers here. No one expected the weather to be like this. We knew it could be cold, but there's actually a big storm front coming through. It's also been affecting the Azores, which is the islands of Portugal. It's affecting pretty much all of Portugal at the moment. A big storm front, very cold. When I was flying into Porto the other day, we flew right through the storm as we landed, and it was a bit scary, I would say. I'm used to flying, but it was definitely a puckering moment. But all good. Oh, I know all about red horses. All about them. A couple is all you need. I had my fair share of red horses when I was in Abu Dhabi with my Filipino mates. They told me about it, and I thought I could handle it. Ooh, what a strong bear. Good, but strong. Red horses. Man, very strong bear. Very strong bear. All right. No more questions. Can I go eat my lunch and come back? So let's see. They are sweeping the track off. It stopped raining. We just had a little sprinkle, but it's going to go back to, as we see the youngsters getting out there to sweep off the track. They want to race. They're not worried about a few puddles. Actually, they could probably go on the track now, to be honest. So while they sweep off the track, just give me a minute or two. I am going to have my sandwich, and I will be back. All right, so I am back after that delicious ham and cheese sandwich. Thank you, Chemo RC, for bringing that to me. Edward Co. Hey, any Euro tracks, oil tracks around? Not here in Portugal. That's more in the UK, in France, I would say. But yeah, not her, buddy. Glue, just glue her. Crunchy 8. Nope, Lee Martin is not her. I have not seen Lee Martin do any 8 scale in quite some time. No, Lee Martin. And while I'm here, I want to say a big condolences to Neil Craig and his family and all the UK RC community with the loss of his of Mick Craig. Such a great loss last week, and very sad to see. So our condolences go out to Neil and his family and all the UK family out there. A legend like Mick Craig, unfortunately passing away. Very unfortunate to see. But yeah, I haven't. Lee Martin hasn't done any. Yeah, I mean Lee's kind of been. He does. I don't even think he's done much 10 scale racing outside of the UK. The 10 scale worlds aren't until 2025. So, I'm not sure what Leroy is up to. He's making some videos with the RC Racing TV. RC Autopsy, him and Trish. Absolutely, X Attack. It was very sad to see that as well. All right, so the younglings are out there brushing off the track, and the RD is looking to get ready to start. Unfortunately, a lot of people have gone home, but there's still a lot of racers here. All right, any more questions? Hello, Scotty. How are you? Where are you? Are you home for a little bit, Scotty? You have been traveling quite a lot. Was just talking to Edward about the round 2 of the Asian Buggy Championships coming up here. Looking forward to all the great coverage that you guys do over there in the Philippines. Man, I keep saying it. I need to get over to the Philippines, but I need to go for like 2 weeks. What classes of car is in this race? So it's just one 8-scale e-buggy and nitro buggy X-Tech. No truggies. You deserve it, man. Did you go home or did you go to visit your daughter and granddaughter on the East Coast? You have been. 1 minute you're in America, next minute you was in Europe, then you was back in America, then you was over. I just flew over to Europe and it drained me. It drained me. So all that flying around, but yeah, it's good. You used to it. Good job. Asian Buggy Championships will be good. Can't wait. And looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Are they going to do any... So, Edward, are you guys going to change the track a little bit? Or I saw Leonard was over there practicing on it. I guess you guys will put a fresh coat of molasses on, and that will be it. Is Boots there, Lefty? No, Boots is not here. Where is Nick? Nick Damon? He is... Not heard. He's not doing this. Nick is. Nick is not here this week. So the guys from RC Racing TV that are doing it are actually doing the virtual production from the UK. It is going to be great, Scott. I think it's going to be awesome, and I love that the series thing. You know, it's awesome. Oh, you put oil down on it. Okay, nice. So Zach, I know who got you to do that. Zach loves the oil. It's good. That track down there in the track that they have down there, the Pine Hills dirt track that Zach does. They got it going on pretty good. That track is pretty good. The tires last a long time. So I know the oil is good. The oil, man, the oil. So for those you don't know what the oil is, basically it's old cooking oil that they use, and they spread it in the track and they make it, it like permeates the ground. So when it rains like this, it kind of just like similar. It doesn't get all muddy. The dirt just kind of just. I'm sorry, the water just sweeps off, and it dries off fast, and you can go racing again. So I'm definitely a fan of the oil. And always a good thing to do. And it smells like French fries. Absolutely. Yeah, Zach and I have talked about it quite a few times about the oil and whatnot. I've never driven on one. I've been to one. Hearts is oiled, so always. That's the only oil track I've been to. And unfortunately, it's still gray here and it's slightly sprinkling, but not raining very hard, just slight light drizzle. Well, oil makes it so the oil came about uh, basically from the UK because obviously it rains like it is now quite a lot there. So they figured that putting the oil in there, it protects it. That the track doesn't get all, you know, it just doesn't get muddy. And so when it dries out, it just makes it for a better surface. Also, it's better for tires the way they do it over there in Australia. Like they have certain tires, even when the tires are bald, they work. There we go. Everybody's saying hello. Still, people are having fun. Even though we're not racing, people are still having fun, and that's always good to see. So oil, awesome. That's going to be different. That's going to be different. So, Edward, tell us how the oil is compared to the old mixtures. Elias and the Techno team growing ever so much. The Parentes were looking fast out there. Tell us how the oil compares to the oil treatment of the molasses and water treatment. Do you have to put less oil on for it? Or like, I know the molasses, you have to kind of put a lot of coats on it. Or continue to put coats on it. So... Oh, they're working on the buggies. Well, they're cleaning them because they went out there and got very dirty. So they're cleaning them. And luckily, the cafeterias, they serve some good food and frosty beverages down there. So people are probably enjoying some frosty beverages as well. Right. Okay, that's what I thought. So for the molasses, when it rains, it's kind of like when you put sugar on the track. Lefty, any more thoughts on what JQ said with the live streaming podcast and news outlets for RC Racing TV? He isn't wrong. He is not wrong. If you want to see people that are doing that are doing all of that, is actually the Asian Buggy Championship. So they have the live stream, they have interviews, and they have written reports. But they also have people doing that, right? So I 100% agree with that, but also it's very hard in these. First of all, you need the manpower, right? You need manpower, and you need manpower costs money. So you need to add about 2 more people to help do that. And another thing you have to plan around. Thank you, Basement. I love you. He bought me a coffee. Thank you to David Bauman who bought me a coffee up here. So also you have to plan around the pros and all that type of stuff. Now, a lot of the big American races, like DNC, there's 800 entries, right? You have to keep the race going. You can't stop because you have to get through those entries. So all that has to be coordinated, and you have to have the people in power in place to do it. I still agree and believe that everybody should get their name called, because the lower level, the lower drivers, the non-pro drivers, they pay to be there, and their families are watching. But we have to figure out a way to just plan around. And that means working with the race promoter, working with the RD, and all that type of stuff. So we've been thinking about it. And you have to have the manpower. And that costs money. It all comes down to that in the end. All right. Edward says, with the oils, it repels the water after rain. Wait 1 hour and resume racing. Awesome. That's what I thought. And most of all, rubber friendly. Good to have players, but not to good for the players, but not for the shop. Absolutely. Yes. So, it's easy to criticize. When Scotty and those guys, you are when we're doing commentary, our focus is on the commentary. You got to go out there and get quick interviews. The interviews have to be quick because the program has to go along. A lot of these times when we're doing commentary on these type of races, whether it be myself, Scotty, Nick Damon, sometimes we're not even where people can see us. So you're not around people. Like, you're just watching a screen and calling the action on the screen, not actually looking at the track. Now, some tracks you can be around people and whatnot, but once you get focused and glued on that street, you're there. You're calling the race for the people that are in the chat, right? That are watching online. So what helps me a lot is that when I do this and I'm sure Scotty and these guys do it as well, they have people that come in and tell them what's going on. And, there's people chatting and people know what type of tires and stuff are on. But it's a long day. You're there. Some of these races, I've been there up and going from 6 in the morning and going straight. And I was up to 12 o'clock the night before, 1 o'clock. So it's a lot of talking. It's a lot of work. And the problem is in RC, there's not a lot of money put into it. So you can't afford to have multiple people and help and all that type of stuff. That's the issue. So easier said than done. Crunchy 8, Lefty. RC Racing TV does all of the European events. They have for quite some time now. They have a deal with AFRA, and they do all the European events that happen. So they'll be at the Euros, which will be, once again, at the Hungaroring. This is the third time it's been there, too. So Boots won it the first time back there in 2015, and then we had it, Ricardo Berton, who won it in 2019 after that exciting race in the rain, and that was a good race. It was a good battle between him and Ronafalk to the end. So I don't know. The way Ongaro is going, he doesn't have a 1/8 scale European Nitro Championship, but he might get it this year. And the way people are talking, he might even get a third World's title now, especially going to Redovon. But I think the one thing about it going to Redovon will also be that the Americans are familiar with how the track will develop. I know they'll put a different layout, but they'll know how the surface is going to react, how the heat will be at that time of the year. So they're coming in there with, they already had a warm-up 2 years ago, but it was the Worlds. So that will be one of the benefits of Redovon, is that everybody will be familiar with the surface when it goes there. Different track layout, but the surface will be the same. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Can Ongaro three-peat? Can Ronafalk win 2? Will we see JC3, who won the European Championships there last year, take his first Worlds? Boots is on fire right now. Ryan Mayfield is obviously Ryan Mayfield. He can win anywhere in the world. We got Dakota Fend as well. He'd be looking to get one. Don't forget guys like Brandon Rose, the Fullers. Mason Fuller as well. So there's lots of names to throw in that hat. Derek Vanderham says, I'm just saying it now, I think we're going to have a new world champ. Absolutely. We can have somebody that hasn't, somebody out of the blue might just come out and win it. You never know. You never know. Lefty to improve. Yes, I did like that. So that's an idea I actually threw at Danny Paz, maybe getting the driver's car as a picture. But then we have to get multiple pictures because at American races, they run e-buggy, nitro buggy, truggy, and e-truggy. Okay, so RRD says we are about to go live in 10 minutes time. So we're about to go racing in 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere. I will talk to you for the next 10 minutes, and then I'll be quiet. No, I'm only joking. I'm just having my nice cappuccino brought to me by David Bauman. There- There's Mr. Figueredo out there, and his. I don't think I've seen that man stop since I got her on Tuesday. He has not stopped. I don't know how he has the energy to do all of that. Awesome, awesome stuff. So we got lots of racing coming up. Oof, lots of racing. Be watching it all. Oh, that's right. Scotty goes to PMB next week, so I'll be watching that. That'll be interesting. Very good to follow. And that cappuccino was too small. All right, we got 10 more minutes before we start racing. Good to see the youngling out there doing some work. I think that's Iker Tellez, his little brother. Any more questions before we start getting into the racing here later on? Well, we always said that the Europeans race in the rain. Oh, here we go. They're about to do some racing in the rain. Should be good. Nitro plus rain plus puddles. Gonna be interesting. We're gonna see some four-wheel drift action out there. That's sawdust. So they got some sawdust in there, and they're just spreading it on the puddles. Arch Screamer, dirty cars. Yes, but not as dirty as you think they will be. They'll get dirty, but it won't be a bunch of mud stuck on them. They won't be coming off the track weighing 20 pounds. So the glue actually stops a lot of that. Yeah, they're using sawdust, wood dust, whatever, whenever you cut wood and all that stuff. It fine powder, throws up, absorbs the water. I saw one year at Montpellier, they did that. So Montpellier is like an oil track, I believe, but also a multi-surface track. And it rained so hard, I thought they were never going to get that track in order. Man, the track crew went out there. They they kind of squeegeed off the track, and they threw down that sawdust, and they were racing on it like right away. Lefty, estamos muy molestados de la decisión de IFMAR para cambiar el mundial de Sudamérica de Europa el nombre de todos los pilotos de Sudamérica que hizo un gran esfuerzo. Yes, he was saying about South America not getting the World Championships. It is a shame. It is very much a shame. I understand why IFMAR did what they did. I believe that FEMAR should have their World Championship as well. But with 5 months left to go and a lot of negativity about the Brazil race, I honestly feel that any of the FEMAR countries would have faced that same negative response had they decided to put it in FEMAR. So it's interesting because by the rules it says that FEMAR has another chance in 2026. So we'll see. But qué pena. Yo siento tu dolor. Ya entendí. What's up, Joey Fisher? Lefty, the race needs to have RC Racing TV next year for sure. Which race is that, Crunchy? All right, so just finishing spreading down some of the sawdust and some of the areas that forming up a lot of puddles. And it's still lightly drizzling out there. So, man, the crew are not giving up. Big kudos to the track crew here. I 100% agree with you, Crunchy. They need to have an English commentary. They used to have a live stream at Montpellier, and it didn't happen. A big shout out to Costas at RC Special, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had no video at all. So, And he's not a streamer. He just goes to do his content, and um, he just happened to have a camera and do a live stream. Okay, so we just had another hard rain downpour. It's raining right now. So it's not going to be 10 minutes. Is Mikhail driving? No Mikhail Orlowski here. Yeah, I think it's just going to be on and off all day. Unfortunate. Yep. We got a tin roof up here, so I don't know what to do, guys. I wish I could control the weather. Trust me. I wish I could. I wish I could. We'll see what they decide to do here. It's still only 3:42. They do have lights, so they can run into the nighttime. Ooh, it's going to be cold if they do nighttime. So we'll see. We shall see. There's still a lot of races here. They haven't gone home yet. Some have, but there's still quite a lot here. So I'm looking at the weather app. We're at 75%. We dropped down to 30, 40. We shall see how it goes.
Estava agora a falar com aquele moço a falar, o Banco de Viana. Não, o rapaz tem. Faz o quê? É de Viana, trabalha no parlamento. Durante, o moço tem. Então, eu estava a dizer, estou a falar para a Viana, não estava.
X-Attack 101. Yeah, people were good. It's not, so I don't think people are afraid of running in the rain. That's not the issue. The cars were out there going through the puddles earlier. I think the issue is the tire marshals out there in the rain and not being out in the rain, and also, there's no cover for them. And they have to be careful because it's very slippery out there as well. So when we talk about the worlds not being in IFMAR now, we have to also look at the rules that state that it actually goes back to IFMAR in 2026. It's supposed to go, if IFMAR would have done the worlds this year, it would have been 2024 for USA, 2024 for IFMAR, and then 2026 for USA. But now if it's coming back to Europe, the rules state that it has to now go back to FAMAR in 2026, which means that the Americans won't get it till 2028. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm just stating the rules. We'll see what happens in the end with that. This is probably a discussion to have on the podcast where I can be a little bit more free. But yeah, I was all prepared and ready to go to Brazil. Now I have to prepare and go to Redavon. So I don't know. Well, it can't really be nothing can be really done about it. You just gotta kind of. That's the rules, right? So we shall see how it goes. We shall see. Alrighty. We still got 83 people watching, so that's good. So I'm here. I got 83 people watching. Yeah, it's not about the cars handling the rain. The cars can handle the rain. It's about the term marshals. So Exatech, we actually, because this happened after we recorded the podcast here, that you last listened to. So the Worlds were supposed to be held in Brazil. So Joey, this was not to put the race. So you have to understand, to put the race where it is going to Redavon was not the decision of IFMAR. Okay, so we're going to start. We have to talk about that in a bit. So they are going to start, wet track and all. We are ready to go. So we'll talk about the Worlds another time on the podcast. We're about to see some wet racing, like true rallycross. I personally think a lot of the rules in IFMAR have to be revamped and revisited. They were made many, many years ago, and they need to be changed. The Worlds is going to be in Redavon again. Where it was in 2022. So basically, Exatech, the Worlds were, basically Brazil said they couldn't hold the Worlds with 5 months left to go, and IFMAR had 1 month to hey, Tony RC, met him today. It ain't that bad. The puddles aren't that bad, Ken. It makes it great. Watch. I was watching earlier. You're going to see cars sliding all over the place. It's like true rallycross out there. So we heard the nitro engine starting up. There is no quit with these guys. Are we going to have cameras? Oh, here comes my camera guy. I'm hoping that we're going to have moving cameras here shortly. I would say this, it's pretty cool. But basically, so with Brazil going out, IFMAR had very little time to make a decision on where the Worlds is going to be. I know that Argentina bid, I know Bolivia was trying to bid, and I know Mexico was trying to bid. And they have to be approved by IFMAR. If not, the rules state that the race has to go back to the AFRA block. So that the IFMAR decided that they weren't secure with none of the venues that were coming up, and they decided to go back to AFRA. So then AFRA gave it to Redavon. And there's a story behind that too. But that's a chat for another day. Yeah, that's a chat for another day. But by the rules, IFMAR gets another chance in 2026. All right, up next is the intermediate heat, Group 2, Heat 1. Sorry, intermediate Q1, Heat 2. We got João Perpetuo, Oliver Fisher, Davy Bales, Matthias Innes, Laurent Bassin, Nikolai Lamberts, Pierre Flouet, Sebastian Coulson, Diego Carda Rivas, Toby Hampson, who's not here, And Alex Lim, I wonder if Alex is gonna. I don't see him. Oh, there's Alex. He ain't scared. He's going out there in the rain. So our camera guy is getting the camera set back up. They had to take it down. They didn't want to get it rained on. And I tell you, it is getting cold, cold, cold here. And it's still raining, so they gave the tour marshals some raincoats. And this is my first ever rain race. Don't worry, we're gonna get the cameras out there so you can see it. They are not slowing down. They are racing in the rain here at. We are racing in the rain, as you say, Kim. Unfortunately, ultimately, it's great that we are still getting around. We know Radovan can handle it and do a good job. Absolutely, there's no doubt that Radovan can do a great job. They did an excellent job in 2022. And let's be honest, there is no money to be made at doing a Worlds event. You spend money. So, kudos to the boulders. They want to do it again. Would I've liked to see it be somewhere else? Maybe, but that's not my decision to make, right? I don't make those decisions. I just get to talk about them. I'm just glad we have a Worlds, and I'm glad we have a Worlds where everybody will go. Because, unfortunately, it didn't look like everybody was going to go to Brazil. Which, it's a shame, because Brazil is awesome. All right. No, Joey, I'm trying to tell you that these cars will not be caked in mud. This dirt is not, these cars will have a thin layer of dirt on them. They will not be caked in mud. I already been out there, I already watched them. They come in, they barely have any mud on them because the glue keeps the mud from sticking. It isn't like you see, the track is pretty much hard out there. You know how tracks are in America where you walk on them after they rain and your foot sinks into the ground? That doesn't even happen out there. It's just a thin layer of like silt on top of it. All right, so our moving camera is getting ready in position. Helder is there. And they're only doing 5-minute qualifiers, so if you can't do 5 minutes. It is very humid. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, Joe. You're thinking of that red clay that we have in Florida. And that stuff sticks and makes your car weigh about 20,000 pounds. No, these cars, they are coming off dirty, but they don't have a lot of mud on them. All right, so let's find Alex Lim, car number 11. 11. Coche número 11. Coche número 11. Alex Lim, you're a South American champion, making all the trip all the way from Paraguay to race here with us. And we're going to pick up with him. I think he's coming across. No, he should have a black wing. I'll find him. There we go, as our cameraman just tries to get a feel for things and find the drivers out here. We're going to find our leader, Alex. By the way, this isn't a 5-minute qualifier. There is a 5-minute qualifier, but they're taking your 3 best consecutive laps. And Alex just came across the line, so he should be going over the triple there. As he comes up over the double, I'll see when he comes over, Alex Lim is the first car in there, in that row, I believe, with the yellow wing. Car number 11. I think these guys are just going on cars with a little bit bigger pins right now. Because it's not like It's not. I was out there. People were on the Vesuvius and hot race, and I don't know what the seismic guys were on. Okay, so there's Alex coming by. He just threw down a 42-1. He's currently on a 252. As we see, there's Ryan Lutz's biggest nemesis, Mr. Duras, famously known for punting Ryan Lutz in the Montpellier GP to take the bump up in that quarterfinal. And there we are with young Alex Lim, who changed up his paint job for his nitro car. Going up over this back section, is climbing the hill up to the highest point of the track right there. That point is actually the same height as the driver's stand. And then he comes all the way downhill. It's a steep downhill drive all the way down to the bottom. So, but now out front is Diego Carda Rivas. He's currently out front. That's who we're going to be following her soon. Last year, I remember this had a gate, a metal gate there somewhere. That's gone. So Rivas with a 42-2 this time, last time by. Let's see what he backs that up with. We got 49 seconds left to go in this race. And Carlos comes by. That was a 41-7. Right behind is Pierre Leclerc. Behind them is Florent Bessa, and Alex Lim is now in fourth. Well, we are currently following the car number 9 of Diego Rivas. Ooh, and and he just gets hydroplanes through that puddle. And that was a whole bunch of kerfuffle for him. Car number 9, he hydroplaned and lost all complete traction, and that just threw him up over that second part of the track. So the puddle's making it very interesting for everybody out here. And we are racing in the rain here in Barcelos, Portugal at the International Buggy Challenge. We even have the local media here doing some coverage for the local media as well. Diego Carvas comes back. That's going to be a long lap of 47.9. And the rain is coming down ever so harder. And we want to say a big thank you to our tire marshals out there in their ponchos, braving the elements. And there you can see it is getting wet. I think at this point, it doesn't matter what tires you go out on there. Very interesting, very interesting. As unfortunately, we'll see. So it's going to be Diego, Pierre, Florent, Alex Lim, Sebastian, Yao Pepetto, Oliver Fisher, Davy Bales, Matthias Ennis, Nikolai, and Toby not making the start. So a 2:06, your top time to beat her. And it is raining, but that is not stopping the racing here. I will definitely, when I get a chance, go out and see what type of tires guys are going out. I know people are going very light on the disc. So this is a track when it's dry, you can actually run very high oil on the diffs. But with it being so slippery, they're going to have to drop it down. I'm sure they also sprayed their cars down with WD-40 to keep a little bit of the dirt off. But there we see. This is almost true off-road, right? Like true rallycross. What's up, Riley? How you doing? I saw you at the INS last week. Having a good time. Hanging out with the X-Ray crew. What's up, Teddy? How you doing, good buddy? Long time no see. Tell Richard and Sean I said, what's up? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Riley. They are racing in the rain here in Portugal. So up next is our top heat. Unfortunately, Barcan Kelec has left, so we're going to have Yao Figueiredo, Adrian Parente, Hugo Taravan, Pedro Gomez, Andre Bento, and Carlos Duras Yao Rodriguez and Diego Iglesias. So let's see some of our top names go there. Let's find Yao because he's going to be the fastest here. And the rain is coming down harder now. But so what? They still have to drive. Young Adrian Parente on his new techno ride. His brother will be up in the next race. Teddy the one said, only way to do it in the rain. Yeah, well, this track, the way this track is, it allows it to happen in the rain because it's very hard packed. And I mean, if it continues to rain, it might get a little bit blown out. But right now, the track is holding up excellent for all the rain. It's coming on even harder. I can hear it on the roof now. It is very gnarly. We're going to get some moving cameras of this, of our top drivers, as soon as they get on the clock. And there is Yao Figueredo. This is his home track. He'll follow Yao now on that new techno ride. Techno making a big push here in Europe. As we see Yao coming up over, he's had millions and millions of laps on this track. He says, it doesn't matter, I can drive in the rain as well, as he navigates his car on those hot race tires. I think he's coming in for a little fuel. Probably want to richen his car up a little bit. What's up, friend? How you doing? How's Jaden doing? Tell him I said hello. I hope all is well. Look at that. We got some roost, but it's not dusty. It's muddy roost. Oh, very good drainage. And it is coming down hard now. It's not drizzling. So I don't tell you the last time we've had a rain race. Let's get back on with Zhao and that techno car. He is absolutely flying. Look at him going into a full road drift around that, up and over that little bump. Yao just sending his car through the puddles. No harm, no fouls, no risk it to biscuit as he navigates back up to this back section and climbs up the mountain to the top of Mount Barcelos. And around the 180 and down the few steps he goes. Let's see how he navigates coming onto the straightaway. Oh, and he is carving down there. Flying down the straightaway goes Yao as he comes back over through the puddles again. No need to brake check there. The puddles doing that all for him. Over that double. Still able to do all the jumps. Not a problem here. Yao is absolutely flying. He is going to be on his first lap here. This is going to be his first counted lap here. It's Bento Andre counts. He just did on a 39-2. Davide Angaro's Portuguese cousin. Parente throws on a 38-6. The young Yao makes a mistake right at the end. This is going to be a long lap for him. So Yao is just messed up his lap time. What type of lap time is that going to be for Yao when he comes by a 41-2? So he was on a good run until he made that mistake. Let's see. Because Yao is absolutely flying. Just made that one mistake. Driving Kyosho for many, many years. Made the switch to the techno platform for 2024. I just recently went to the DNC. Made the final at Montpellier. Yao had a very good 2023. And he jumps right into that puddle. I'm sorry. I wish we had a photographer out there getting some pictures right now. It'd be some awesome pictures. As he goes back down the hill, off camera, over that double. Let's see what type of lap time Yao does now. That was a 38-1. So fast lap from Yao. Adrian Parente out front. Young Andre Bento in second. Yao Figueredo third. Yao Rodriguez in fourth. And Carlos Duras in fifth. No start from Berkan, Hugo, or Pedro. I think they've left the chat. And now we are on board with the young, I believe that is the Adrian Parente, the younger Parente brother, also on a techno car. The techno drivers braving the elements here. And this is the 15-year-old Parente brother. Danielle is, I believe, about 16 or 17. And Danielle was looking very rapid out there. But this is his younger brother, Adrian, in the blue and white techno on hot race tires as well. He's looking pretty dialed. I was watching Daniel. He's a lot more risk it, a lot more send it. But Adrian looks a little bit more calm and composed. Let's see what type of lap time he does when he comes by. His last time was a 38.7. Let's see if he can improve on that as he comes by. And it's going to be... Oh, my scoring just didn't recount. A 38.4, so he did improve on it. Parente having a good run. A 37.7 for Yao Figueredo that time by. So Yao absolutely flying as you see those cars drifting on that off-camber jump. That off-camber S section, absolutely awesome. Some car just barreling through that big puddle over there. I can honestly say in all my years of racing, I have never seen this in RC. I love it. I think we're going to make for some great racing here, even in the rain. Lots of people are going to be busy tonight rebuilding their cars, but that's okay. Everybody's going to have to do it. It's now y'all Figueredo to the top, followed by Adrian Parente, Andre Bento, Rodriguez, and Duras. And there we are back on y'all number one, absolutely flying in that Techno, and he comes by the loop, and that is going to be a 38.5 for him. Y'all making a little bit of a mistake, not to be expected in this very rough conditions. Kudos to all these racers coming out here in brave conditions, as well as our turn marshals. Y'all in a rain-affected IBC. I think y'all, Andre Rodriguez running the N1, he's out. But remember, they're counting their best 3 laps. So 48 seconds left to go as Figueredo comes by. Oh, Figueredo coming into the pits. Is he going to pull it over and finish for now? I think so. He says, I already done my 3 laps. I'm happy. But who's still on the track? I think you still got 2 cars running. This is a very nice track. If they had more water, we can call this the International Boat Challenge. Yes, we could. But I think they're still going to race. They're going to get this one qualifier in. Y'all coming off the track smiling. He's like, I had fun. He looks like he had fun. He's smiling. Hey, you know what? That's all that matters at the end of the day. That people are smiling. Him and Andre and Pariente coming, smiling at each other, saying, that's pretty crazy. We're just out there racing in the rain. But y'all Figueredo going to take that, set that early TQ in the pro class, followed by Parente, Andre Bento, Yao Rodriguez, and Carlos Duras. Carlos Duras is famous. I think it was the 2020 Montpellier GP. Ryan Lutz went to it. They were in the quarterfinal, and Duras was coming from way behind, and right in those S sections, he just, on the last lap, kind of just did a big inside move on Lutz, punted him out of the way, and took that bump up spot from him. And I was like, man, I give you so much props for that driving. And I was actually talking to Ryan Lutz about it last time I was there. So, good stuff. Up next, Burak Killick, he's gone. Daniel Parente, Renato Savoya still here. Jessica Paulson in the HB, Theo Lomer. Iker Teles, Ricardo Montero, Josemi Sanchez, Nuno Casal, and Nikolai Lamberts. This is your second heat. Vincent Verdon. This is true off-road. I agree. I want to get some video out here. And you know what? People are still here. People are coming on to line up for their pits. And it is awesome. It's good to see. They just said, forget it. We're going to race, rain or not. I love the fortitude from the racers, the turn marshals, and the crew here. So let's get cracking. Let's get these qualifiers in. Let's go have a good meal tonight. And then let's do it all again tomorrow, I would say. All right, so the people to watch in this will be Daniel Parente, René Savoya, Jessica Paulson, Theo Lomer, Ricardo Montero, Iker Teles. They'll all be fast. And the rain continues to come down. I would hate to marshal too. Hello, Danny from Belgium, the home of Kevin De Bruyne. One of my favorite players. That's all right, Riley. I think everybody just said, forget it. We're gonna get wet. We can always go home and get a shower. We have a legitimate rain race. I don't think we've did this. I haven't seen a legitimate rain race probably since 2019 European Championships, where it rained in the middle of the race, but we're actually racing in the rain. Like, no, you know, just having fun. So we have Iker, Ricardo. Do I see? I don't see Savoya. So maybe Savoya not running. Nope. Savoya not making the start. Paulson making the start. So that's good. To be honest, Vincent, the cars are coming off dirty, but not as bad as you think. They're not coming off caked in mud. The way this track is packed so hard, the cars are coming off with a light coating of mud, of dirt on them, very light. Hello, Arnold. Bonjour from France. Yes. I don't know, Magnus. I can't see the flags. Let's see. Oh, yeah. She is. She's running under the Polish flag. Jessica now representing Poland. So let's find somebody. That mira, Montero. Esa I'll know any. Yep, that. And the other Tecna, the older Parente, brother. These guys making the move. Parente. As you see, he just drifts it that hill. I could see me now trying to run down that hill. It wouldn't work right. I'd roll down that hill. As he goes up and over, about the back second, he was looking very fast when the track was dry. The rain has stopped. So we are good to go. I don't think it mattered. Let's see what Parente does as he comes across the loop and comes down the hill, bottoming out that chassis. And that is going to be a 39.7. Iker Tella is now in second. The Ricardo Montero, the other fast veteran Portuguese racer, X-ray driver in third. So it doesn't look like Jessica made the start. She's there. Or she's just watching the race. She says, I'll just watch. I'm not cleaning my car. But Danielle doesn't care. He is sending that Tecno through the puddles with no care whatsoever. So there we are. Danielle making it look easy out there in the rain. As he gets on the brakes and comes across, that is going to be a slight, let's see what type of lap that is for Danielle. Sorry guys, my scoring is a little bit behind. A 39.9. Iker with a 43.7. Montero with a 39.9. Are currently following the young Daniel Parente from Spain. Here with his father and his brother. Let's see. How many, he's going to jump. And he just goes sailing through that puddle. Oh, he hit the pipe there. Luckily, he didn't damage his car. I bet you old school racers remember racing and stuff like this. Having to waterproof your air filter and all that stuff. Mercedes and servers are way different now. They can handle a lot more water nowadays than they did back in the day. So a lot easier. But as you can see, even in the wet, this track is still able to do all the jumps wetter than an otter's pocket. That is hilarious. I love it, Owls RC. Absolutely love it. So Jessica not making the start. She's actually just watching the race there. So she's probably not wanting to get her car dirty. Hello, Dylan Hartson. DNC rather in Portugal. Yes. The only difference is we wouldn't be able to race in DNC on this rather because the track would be a mud bog. I love it. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad that these guys went out and raced. So happy. Look at him. He's just out there flying. This is what you see in real off-road. They don't stop for rain in Supercross. They keep on going. It may not be the most exciting race, but it's still going. This is exciting. I can't wait till we actually see some racing going on. Parente absolutely flying. Last time was a 39.6. What can he do now? He is on form. Can he pick Yao, his Tecno teammate, A 41. Uh-oh. I think his car shut down. Too many puddles for Rente. He sucked down some water, but he's only got 54 seconds left to go. They're not doing a full 5-minute qualifier run. They're taking your best 3 laps. Now we're going to move on to the X-Ray driver from Portugal. This is his local track, Ricardo Monteiro. We was talking yesterday. He went to the world. Whoa! What an awesome drift. That's what I like to see. He sent it full send, drifting around the 180 as he comes flying down. That's going to be a 41.1 for Monteiro. His car is still running. He's got 29 seconds left to go. He might get one more lap after this. Monteiro looking very good. So they are not taking a full 5-minute run. They're taking your 3 best laps. They knew that it's going to be very hard to be consistent in this type of weather. So Monteiro, though, he's in the flow. His car is not cutting out. He's able to make it over this jump. Oh, and he's trying to avoid that puddle. That's going to be a long lap for Monteiro. This one's not going to count. This is going to be his last lap as time has done. Just wanted to check, make sure that our audio is all good. What pitch prop are these guys running? Man, they're running. Yes. I think I want to see some racing. I say we just race. Let me see. What type of tires is Monteiro on? Alrighty. I love the commitment. Love it. Let's race. Rain and look. Iker coming. And the drivers are coming off smiling. I love it. It's making me smile. So Daniel Parente, followed by Ricardo Martin, Iker Tellez, Josime Sanchez. I think those are the only people that made the start. No start from Borak, Renault, Jessica, Theo, Nuno, and Nikolai. All righty then. Up next is your first heat of Sportsman Nitro Buggy. We got Vitor Sampaio, Sergio Bamonde, Julian Tudela, Pedro Martins, Dennis Huganek, Daniel Avalos, Escudo Parente. He must be related to the Parente brothers. Chemo RC. We got the basement. David Bauman, Vinicius Vargas, Rodrigo Mano, and Jose Manuel Perez Portela. No, you don't need paddle tires out here, man. I'm telling you. I'm going to go out there for a walk after this and see what tires they on. Oh, everybody wants to put me on camera. All right. What's up, everybody? You can see I'm all wrapped up. It's cold. Oh, we got some rain racing going on. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm actually literally geeking out here on rain race. I have never been to a rain race. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They always said that the Europeans don't matter. They race in rain. I always thought it was on the AstroTurf tracks and all that type of stuff, but this is awesome. Hey, not the best conditions, but we're making the best out of it. We got 130 people just watching rain race qualifying. Leave the puddles. Leave the puddles. It makes it fun. I guess they don't want too much water to build up. We do have clear skies coming, though. Hey, let's show them the water that's coming out of the side of the mountain over there. So I'm going to show you something. This has been draining. I'll show you if he can find it. No, he's got to go over to... Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Yeah, Riley, unfortunately, a lot of the pro guys that were supposed to come from Spain and Italy, they pulled out when they saw the weather. And even some of them were going home. So it's unfortunate. Unfortunate. So they're trying to dissipate a few of these bigger puddles, which is good as these guys get their cars warmed up. My roommate, Kibo RC, is in this heat. He's been having a blast, sir. He says he don't care rain or shine. He is going to run. If they say we run, we run. There's Litos going out there. Yao Figueiredo going out there to do some sweeping. This track crew and this club have worked tirelessly to bring this race. So a big shout out to them. And I don't know, man. There's people out there that are into RC that have probably never even seen a rain race. I tell you, 2008 Worlds too. The qualifying for that was horrendous, and they were racing in that thick red clay mud of North Carolina. And for the first couple of days of practice, it was just a mutter. And they made it happen. They were cutting their tires. So what they do, what they used to do traditionally in rain races, lots of mud, they would take a tire and cut it to make it about that thin, and then cut the tire to be like that as well. So they wanted thinner tires. Okay, thinner tires to cut through the mud. None of that going on this weekend, because this is pretty still hard pack out there. They are absolutely flying. There we go. Just sweeping off some of the bigger puddles. And you know what? We actually have sunshine. Well, not sunshine, but we have clear skies coming our way. So, I think everybody just accepted the fact that they can do nothing about the weather. There's Basement. He's all excited. Got his poncho on. All right, let's get ready. There's Alex Lim doing some sweeping. As our first heat of Sportsmen are up. Who will be your top sportsman? I think we have 2 heats of Sportsmen here. While we take a break, do you guys have any questions you want me to answer? I know what the hot topic is today. We talked about that extensively earlier. That's definitely going to be a hot topic on the podcast when I get home. In about 10 days. 10 days time. Going to be a hot topic. Woo! As you can see, the guys are walking on the track, and the track is hard packed. What's up, Action Jansen Bronson? They are racing. What are you talking about? They're qualifying. There's Howder's equipment. Giving you a picture of that. We still have a slight drizzle, but it's all supposed to stop here shortly. There's our cameraman. I forget his name. What's his name again, Helder? Paulo. How could I forget? Paulo. Well, all good, Jackson. Where you too, man? Yeah, I know you're doing real life things now. Yeah, they're gonna definitely need a new kit after this. But it's not, I was telling people, it's not like when you run in the mud in the USA. It's very hard packed. It's like a thin layer of, the cars don't come off like 5 pounds heavier. It's very hard packed, and it's like, just imagine like you drove on the road and it had some dirt on it and your car gets dirty like that. That's about it. Yep. I hope you get back to racing too, man. But I understand your real job takes a lot from you, and you got to do the real life thing, man. I get it. Real life comes first. All right. So our Sportsman guys are about to get on the clock. We need to show some love to Chemo RC right off the bat. Chemo RC, car number 8. Let's find my roommate, Chemo RC.
Yeah.
Well, we're staying in the same hotel.
Yeah.
Well, we're staying in the room together. He lives in Bermuda. Vincent Verdun, what's the weather going to do for the next days? Similar weather. So they said, hey, it's going to rain. We might as well just race in the rain and forget about it. All right, as these drivers are about to get on their first laps under the clock, let's see if we can find somebody to follow her. Do I see Chemo up there? Actually, Chemo isn't racing. What? Salty won't be happy about that. Wait till I tell Salty Joe Chemo is not racing. Let's find car number 9. He just... Bauman, the basement. I think that's him.
Cara, não mudou hoje. Não tá com tempo. Tá 47. Tem 7, 9, 2 e 4.
So Parente, Estubio Parente, who I believe is the younger Parente brother, I'm going to have to go find out, is currently in first, followed by the basement, David Bauman. I think that's Bauman right there, actually. No, Vincent Ongaro is not here. Unfortunately, the only top drivers here now are Yao Figueiredo and the Parente brothers. And we have... What's up, Basil? How are you? South Africa in the house. Nitro Militia, 45 plus, Truggy. I was hoping to get to South Africa in February, but I guess we couldn't make it happen. Out to the Zartworks track. I hope to get there at some point and hang out with you guys and go on a safari and see some boerbels. The dogs, South African boerbels. All right, so Bauman is out front. Vamos, let's find car number 9, 9. The next big race for pro drivers is PNB next weekend in White Pine, Tennessee, under a roof. We don't have to worry about rain at that race. We are currently following car number 7 of Esubio Parente, our leader. And as you can see, even though it's wet and muddy, wet and puddly, cars are still able to make it around the track. Oh, and Esubio gets it a little bit wrong. Eusebio, that is Bauman going to be able to take advantage of that? Car number 12 is not on the track. I believe you, Basil. I'm hoping. I was talking to the gentleman at Zartworks, one of the guys, and they wanted to get me there in November of last year for their final race, but I was actually booked up. So we was talking about doing it in February, but I hope we can make it happen. I would love to come to South Africa. So it's Parente, Bauman, and Vinicius and Pedro Martins, our only people braving the elements and making the start. I'm going to have to, you know what? I'm going to be with Chemo later on today, and I am going to not let him live it down that he didn't go out there in the rain. Salty, are you watching? Your nephew did not go out in the rain. We're going to have a chat with him. But Parente coming by, a 45.7, just driving steady out there, goes through that puddle. You know what? I forgot DNC had a puddle last year in this small race, even though it was under a roof. But not as many puddles as this, obviously. No, some of these guys may just choose not to drive today as well. So it's unfortunate. They didn't show up. Yeah. So a lot of people with the rain, they just decided to go home or go back to the hotel, I guess. Speaking of that, Salty Joe just messaged me. And he says, tell Chemo to get out there and race. Don't worry, I'm going to give him the message. Yes, Rodrigo Santa Cruz, Redovan will host the Worlds again. We talked about that earlier, and it's going to be a hot topic on the next No Name RC podcast. And there's my good friend, The Basement, Bauman. Oh, no, we only got 2 seconds of Bauman. He was actually going to finish in second. So well done, Basil. Well done, Bauman. It's still lightly sprinkling, but it's not raining as hard. But Parente, right here as he comes across the line. Oh, I'm going to show him the message. I can't say what he exactly said in the message on the year. It's not a good word to say publicly. He might get shut down, but I'll definitely relay it to him in private. Well done, Parente. I believe that's got to be the younger Parente brother, because he has a techno too. So when I see Chemo, I'm going to show him the message. Basement coming off smiling. That's what I like to see. Maybe it's not the younger Parente. Maybe it's an older Parente. Oh, that's an X-ray. No, that's a Techno. No, that's car number 10. I don't know who that is. But that car, woo! Has missed his heat, Salty. Missed his heat. Came all the way out here and missed his heat. What's up, Adam? Good luck. Oh, we got enough full. We're getting almost. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people up. Alex Gonzalez, Ilian Ferbers, Anthony Cabat, Flavio Rodriguez, Adrian Gonzalez, Adam Reevy, Yam Riva, Rafael Luis Yage, Sasha Hanna, Stefan Lamont. I don't know how many of these people are starting. We'll figure it out here shortly. But they are racing. Salty Joe, would you be out here racing your car in this rain? And just as I say that, it starts to rain again. We're having a true rain race here in Barcelos, Portugal. This will go down in history. I wish that all the pro guys would have stayed here and they could have had some rain race experience. All I know is that every driver I've seen come off the driver's stand has a smile on their face, and that's good. All right, guys, so while they sweep off the track, there's a massive puddle down there. And that's not a worry. Them guys are jumping right over that. I wouldn't worry about that puddle too much. Salty Joe is getting ready for PNB. Crunchy says, Lefty, show him the message. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to show him the message, all right. He was recently, he was on vacation in the Azores where he's from, and he raced there last weekend. So shout out to all of the Azorian racers over there in the Azores. About a 2-hour flight off the coast of Portugal. All right, so track is open, says RRD. RRD is out there brushing off the track as well. There's our RRD right there, the headset one. So all hands on deck here at the Buggy Arena, which is great to see. Club coming together to make sure this happens, despite the bad weather. I think everybody would have worked up a great appetite to go out and have a good meal today. We thank you all for watching. We have 140 people watching in the chat right now. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Like me, are witnessing my first time in a very long time, an actual rain race where we're racing in the rain. So this is very different from what we're used to, but we're going to enjoy it nonetheless. And this broadcast is actually brought to you in conjunction with RC Racing TV and the local Portuguese Federation here doing the camera work. And of course, you are listening to Lefty the Great, Disappointment, as some might call him, as we get ready for the second heat of Sportsman Nitro Buggy here at the International Buggy Challenge. All right, so it looks like we have Anthony Cabat, Flavio Rodriguez, Adam Reevy checked in. And they're getting ready to go on the clock. All right, so we are live. Remember, best 3 laps will count. They're not doing a whole 5-minute run. Okay, so don't have to be consecutive for 5 minutes, which will be very hard to do in this type of conditions. They just have to have 3 good laps. All right, so once these guys come around for their first laps, I'll let you know who's who. As our cameraman is still working on getting a better angle of the camera, or one of our static cameras. You can hear him in the background giving instructions. And I know those words in Portuguese ever so well. I've been called them many a times. All right. So these Sportsman drivers should be coming across. Anthony Cabat has a 53.4. Rafael Luis Yage with a 54.4. I think Flavio Rodriguez is going to be coming by here shortly. Alex Gonzalez. We will get back to the moving camera here as he's just making some adjustments. Let me thank you all for joining us in this rain-soaked edition of the International Buggy Challenge. Adam Reevy coming by for 47.2, finds himself in second spot. Flavio Rodriguez in third. So we got 5 cars making the start here. Yep, that's about right. They got one of the young racers up here as well, standing on his stool. What's up, Jonathan Davis? Congratulations, man. To you and your significant other on that new birth of I think a baby boy. Not sure. Tuning in from Bermuda. Crunchy, where are you tuning in from? You've been active in her. Rodrigo, ¿dónde estás? All right, so let's see. We're on this pink and white car. Pink and blue. I'll let you know who it is when they come across the loop. Let's see if we can find their number. And you can see the raindrops out there. But there's actually sun is coming. That's Anthony Cabat from France. So Anthony in that pink and blue car, he's currently now finding himself in second. Pink, blue, I'm pretty sure it's a Kyosho. It's a big contingent of Kyosho racers and X-Ray racers from France here. But Rafael still out front, followed by Anthony, Ilian, Adam, and Flavio. You're running order at the moment. Even the Sportsman guys are able to get around this track at a decent clip. So, ooh, Adam went a little bit too wide down there and almost went down the hill. Adam and that yellow and black car that just went down around the S-turns. As Anthony comes by, and that's going to be a long lap for Anthony. As my scoring has frozen up here. And we got 1 minute and 14 seconds left to go in this 5-minute qualifier. These racers just have to put their 3 best laps will count. So it takes a lot of pressure of having to do a 5-minute run. And we are currently on with car number 3. That is Anthony Cabat. My scoring is going down. So you have actually a very multinational run going on with 5 guys. We have Spain, Great Britain, Spain, Portugal, and France. I'm hoping one day that we get some of the Americans over here to race with us. It's a beautiful, I mean, I know it's raining right now, but it's an absolute beautiful track, a beautiful facility, and a very beautiful town. Very easy to get to. I flew from Miami to Madrid and then to Porto, and it's a 45-minute drive from Porto to Barcelos. It's very cost effective here. It's lots of nice little restaurants around and bars and hotels. Sí, Rodrigo. La próxima semana es PNB, yo sé. All right, now it looks like we're on board with car number 3 of Anthony Cabat. My scoring has gone. Oh, Cabat gets it wrong as he nosedives into that double. That's going to be a 50.9 for him. He's still going to find himself down in 4th position. And here we have another driver coming off the track, even though he didn't finish his final, in smiles. So, lots of rebuilding going to be done tonight. Lots of rebuilding going to be done tonight. Oh, great move by Cabat as he swings it drift style around that. So it's going to be Ilian Fernandez, followed by Adam Reevy, Rafael Luis, Anthony Cabat, and Flavio Rodriguez. A 3-lap 2:15 being a top run out of this heat. All right, and the rain has slowed down to a drizzle. Car number 2, Ilian Fernandez from España. Vale, vale. Entonces, RC Racing says, this is why we run on AstroTurf. Yeah, but not all tracks have to run on AstroTurf. Whoa! This is just like running on AstroTurf. The cars are coming off as the same dirt as AstroTurf. That's how hard packed this track is. You can see people are walking on it. There's no footprints, nothing. So, all right. Up next is our group 3 of Sportsman Nitro Buggy. We have Al Mortales, younger brother of Iker, Eric Masur, David Morales, Thomas Martinez Rey, Nicolas Marete, Raul Infante, Daniel Groenland. But we only have, looks like 1, 2, 3 drivers going to start this race. RC Racing is actually a lot less cleaning than you think. Because these cars are not, I've said, I got to keep saying it because everybody says the same thing. The way this track is sealed and the way this track is, yes, the cars are coming off dirty, but they are not caked in mud. They are not caked in mud. They are not coming off heavier. They're not coming off with mud stuck everywhere. The guys are blowing the cars off. And, obviously you got to go in there a little bit more cleaning than you would if it was a dry, dusty track. But, no, very little. I mean, they have to do some cleaning. They're probably going to have to change some bearings and oil some bearings and all that stuff tonight. But to be honest, the cars are not that dirty. And guys like, oh, look how dirty my car is. I'm like, it's not really dirty. I've seen cars come off tracks that weigh 10 pounds more than when they started. So this is going to be our last heat of Sportsman, I believe. Let me check our schedule. Let's see how our schedule is going. I want to say a big shout out to Joao Duras. I know I said his name wrong. I know he's watching at home. I know he wishes he could be here. I haven't seen you yet, Duras. I hope I get to see you before I leave. But thank you for helping me get out here and allowing me to be a part of IBC last year and part of it this year as well. So thank you very much. All right, so looks like this is going to be our last heat of Sportsman. You know what, RC Racing? It is fun to watch. And the drivers are coming off the track with smiles on their face. And it was fun to watch Yao Figueredo and his top guys go around this track as well. They made it look so easy. Now, myself, I don't know if I could even make it around this track. I don't know if I could make it around this track when it's dry. All right. All right, so our Sportsman guys are getting ready to get on the clock here. And this is our last heat of Sportsman. Then we're going to go, of course, it stops raining for E-Buggy. Of course it does. And the sun comes out for E-Buggy. I tell you. E-Buggy must have the power of the weather dancer. All right, so the sound has sounded our camera guy. I don't know where he's going. I don't know where. Huh? Oh, Paolo had to go to the WC. Let me see if it shows some love to our last Sportsman bunch of racers. I didn't even see my boy Hugo up here. Hugo didn't even make the start. All right, so whoever we're following her holders on the camera, we're gonna see what he does. All right, so this is car number. I can't see that. I'll let you know. I believe that is Armor Tellez. That looks like a Techno out there. Wow, I really Techno has. When I came here last year, there was hardly any Technos here. So this is David Morales, according to my scoring, from Spain. Let's see. When I came here last year, I think there might have been 1 or 2 Technos. It is a lot of them here now this year. There we go. He's getting his first lap on the board. And that is David Morales. It's good. Yao Figueredo comes back, gives me a thumbs up. Now he's doing an interview for the local television station. So he's having fun. He's been working very hard. And we actually have clear skies coming. You know what, Greg Holland? I was thinking that. You read my mind. He says, even God understands that E-Buggy pays the bills. That was on my brain. I didn't want to say it. But that's what I was thinking. Oh, this is my friend with the beautifully painted Kyosho. I took a picture of this car yesterday. It is awesome. That multicolored pink and green Kyosho. So the mascot for Barcelos is Obrigado, is a rooster. That's their thing. So he has a big rooster painted on the side of his car. It looks great. You go all around the town, you see roost, like that's their symbol, this rooster. I don't want to say the other word because I don't want to get trouble with Facebook and YouTube, what it's really called. But we are currently following this pink and yellow car of David Morales. So it looks like no start from Alan Martella. It's just Raul Martinez Infante, Loic Lecoq, and David Morales. They got 2 minutes left to go. Neo, how are you, my friend? Buongiorno. I hope all is well. There is some talk about me possibly coming to the Italian race in June to do some English commentary. We shall see. What's up, Rory Holler? I mean, they just said, forget it, we're going to run in the rain. And now we got some clear skies coming. That's awesome. Hope all is well is up there. All is well up there in sunny Wisconsin. Yes, I hope so. I'm talking to Mao and we're trying to work it out. So I have exactly, Joey Fisher. It is that, what you said. Roy says, nice day, Harold. It's 40 outside. It's what? I'll tell you what the temp is here. It is 52. So it's going to drop down to the 40s tonight. Joey, I didn't want to say that word on the YouTube, but you know what it means. 11 seconds left to go. David Morales out there for 45.8 just now. Remember, taking your top 3 laps. And I am all good. Alrighty. So up next, we'll get into our e-buggy racing. Oh, no classes in e-buggy. Oh, my goodness. Somebody getting it big wrong, and there's our tire marshal. Got his poncho on. Not going to need that now as the rain has ceased and the sun is coming out. I don't know how long it's going to be out for because it's almost 5 o'clock here and it's going to be getting dark soon. All right, so David Morales is going to take that with a 3.211. Raul with a 3.217 and Loic Lecoq with a 3.235. Absolutely, Greg. Congratulations to these guys on the awesome track and the hard work to give us this coverage. I'm not doing nothing but just sitting here. But these guys, the track crew and the racers that stayed and are braving out the conditions. I understand it's not the best conditions, but still racing. And there you see, smiles on the face. All right, we're just waiting for this Infante, Raul Infante. No EB mods, they're doing 5-minute qualifiers, but they're taking, because of the weather, they're only doing your best 3 consecutive laps. So 3 consecutive laps, like seeding. Hey, Palmer, Alaska, saying hello. You must know Dennis and Donald from Alaska. Their races up there. So they're doing best 3 laps because just very hard to get 5 minutes consecutive out there in this weather and going through puddles and all that stuff. And here's Raul making his way back to the pits. There's me with my wild hair. D&D Racing is here. I met Dennis at the 2023 Dark Nitro Challenge. And Donald is always on the chat. I haven't seen him for quite a long time. So they're going to take a slight break to. Oh, Donald is your husband. Okay, awesome. So they're going to take a slight break to wash, just to get rid of some of the puddles because it looks like we're going to have no rain. I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be right back in like 1 minute, everybody. Alrighty, I am back. I just had to go for a visit to the facilities, and as soon as they cleared off all the water, it started to rain again. But the plan is to do the qualifiers, as many qualifiers as they can today, and finals tomorrow, because Sunday is predicted to be absolutely horrendous. And Reefer says, nice day for car maintenance, not for racing though. Maybe so, but guess what? People are racing, and I went out, look at the cars, and yes, the cars are dirty, but it's a simple matter of going out to the air compressor and blowing them off, and they're some WD-40, and you're back to new. The cars are not coming off the track with 10 pounds of mud on them, which is great. I think it's more for the e-buggy stuff. They can't handle the water, so that's probably why they try to hurl up a little bit. But I say, just let's get those nitros going. Let's get another qualifier out there, and let's have some fun. We are going to be running out of daylight here soon. I guess they do have lights. I don't know if it's sufficient to run completely under the lights, so we shall see. But while we're here on a break, is anybody want to talk RC? Do we want to get back on the whole World Championships going to Redovon conversation? Let us know in the chat. Or do you have another thing you want to talk about? Well, the nitro cars, they can handle, they have to, I think with the e-buggy cars, they're worried about water getting in the motors and the ESCs and all that type of stuff. With the nitro cars, they just got to really worry about the receiver battery, which is not most days is waterproof. Most servos are waterproof, but more it's about protecting the air filter and getting, going through those puddles and not letting water go into the engine. So it is raining again, and the people were down in the cafeteria getting some food and getting some frosty beverages. But unfortunately, we'll see what happens if we get back to racing here. We do want to thank everybody that has tuned in all day with us. I am legitimately excited. Well, there's you know what, Reefer? The great thing about RC tracks in Europe is they have bars at them. So they have the frosty beverage of choice, which is Super Bock, down at the three different cafeterias that we have. So people are here with, chilling out in the pits, cleaning their cars, and enjoying frosty beverages. So there you go. So I think that's just the big problem, that the e-buggies cannot run in the rain, and they are up next. I would just basically go nitro buggy for now. Give them another couple of runs, let them go through a run, and then let's get cracking. Well, they were racing in the rain, Mrs. T, but literally racing in the rain. Adds RC Racing, like another day in the UK. Yeah, hey, you qualified second, fourth, so you're in a good spot for the for your final. If we finish off with the qualifiers today. But yeah, unfortunate that the weather just will not cooperate. We caught a few breaks this morning, but not this afternoon. But it is what it is, and it's for everybody. Yeah, you could not run on if this was like a regular dirt track without being sealed, we would not be running on this track. I'm pretty sure of that. But I even went for a walk on the track just now, and it's still hard. It's just got that thin layer of dirt on the surface and the puddles, and it's good. I think the biggest thing would be cleaning the bearings and stuff. And the rain is coming down harder now. So, not sure what the organizers are going to do. We have gone through a set of qualifiers, so they might call it for the day. We'll see. And try to do it again tomorrow. KRC Control TV, a little sawdust. Well, not only that, it's just that the track is also, it's really, really, really hard packed. So it's, I mean, obviously, it's also sealed, so it takes some time for the water to permeate the sealant and get on there. It's sealed with layers and layers of glue, which can wash away, don't get me wrong, but I don't think you'll see it get muddy. They did use sawdust in some of the bigger puddles earlier. They were throwing sawdust out there, but basically they need the rain to stop, then they can clear away some of the big puddles and they can run. For the electric cars, for the nitro cars, though, I think you can send them fully through the puddles. We saw that earlier, it was not a problem. But I think we're just running out of daylight now. Let me ask Howder. Howder, do you know if these lights work for night racing?
What
Okay, so
they want to race until 9 p.m.
okay, so just found out that we're probably gonna go straight through to 9 o'clock tonight. So we're just taking,
If any guy wants,
if people stay to the 9 o'clock, should be a better saying. But let's see what the weather here is saying for the next little bit of time here while we're here. Drizzle. Yeah, so it looks like it's supposed to be like a 30 to 45% chance of rain from now until 9 o'clock. No, they have lights. They can do the lights. They have sufficient lights to do it. So that's not the issue. It's the issue, I think, is just not running the e-buggies in the rain. E-buggy not paying the bills here. Not paying the bills. All right, so being as we can't talk about the race, let's talk about RC. And I am here to answer your questions as best as possible. Well, I don't think that I'm pretty sure that the owners of this track are not, money is not the idea here. They just want to put on a good event for people to come, like it was last year. I know they desperately wanted to get some of the Americans to come over. I know there was a debate about switching because there's so many races in this time. So we have, they were trying to look for a date where they thought would be free, and Easter was the date. But then we have this big storm that's right on top of us, unfortunately, and that caused it. So, caused this issue that we have with the rain. Had it been a clear, cool day, we would have still seen a lot of the major pro-European guys come, but the rain actually stopped a lot of people from coming. Horsepower, I'm not sure about horsepower, but they have they're 3.5 cc engines. Yeah, I understand that too, but I give a lot of kudos to the drivers that have been on the track. They didn't worry about it. They're going out there and race. They're having fun. They can fix their cars later, so it's all good. Hello, Chad. It is 5:24 p.m. So it's what? 2:24 on the East Coast, and I guess what? 4:24 where you are? No, 1:24, maybe 12:24 where you are. I think you're more in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it is 5:24 here, and I actually think it's gonna rain for the rest of the evening here. So we'll see. But right now, we'll talk RC. Our chat has gone pretty dead. So, I don't know. Is there a topic you guys would like to talk about? Let's get cracking. Let's talk about it. We have time. Until they say this is we go or it's canceled, we have time to talk. What's up, Jeff Tarrant? Texas. You know what? This place needs a roof like Thornhill. But you wouldn't risk what? No, there's no $3,000 to $5,000 kits, sir. So the good thing about kits is that you can actually rebuild them. PNB next weekend, gonna be awesome. Gonna be awesome. Super pumped to see David Ronnefalk go into the race for the first time, and it's gonna be a big race. All the top USA pros are going there. I think there are 800 entries already on RC sign up. I was with Dave. I know. I'm almost wishing I was there too. I'll be in Guarda next week. What's up? The Emperor of Everything, Mr. Martin Owen. So PNB is going to be absolutely awesome. Is it 125 East Coast? We're 4 hours ahead here? Huh, I thought it was 3. Yeah, we're 4. Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know. I've got my times all mixed up. So David Ronnefalk going to PNB. I think that's the big deal going into PNB. First time ever going there. Just coming off an impressive second at DNC. I was talking to him yesterday about it, and he's excited to go. And I think he'll do good. Okay, 12:26 Central Time. I'm sorry. So 4 hours behind East Coast time here. I thought it was 3 hours for some reason. But yeah, PNB gonna be very exciting. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a hard pick. I know Mason Fuller's good there. He almost won it last year. No Joker Lane this year either. It's gonna be a very technical track, I'm told, by Dave. It's gonna be big, like it always is, huge. They're gonna have block practice next week, so that's gonna happen. Yeah. I think I don't see why Ronnefalk can't win that race. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be 9:30 a.m. You guys so is Alaska on West Coast time then? No, it's further than West Coast time. No, that's West Coast time. No, I don't know. So PNB, obviously you can't count out guys like Mayfield. You can't count out obviously can't count out the big players. Fan Mayfield, Brandon Rose coming off that SIC win. Mason Fuller looking for his first win. Then there's guys like Tyler Jones, who's looking very fast. He was very fast at the SIC as well. TQ and Iran. Camden Lime was looking good. So there's lots of people that can do well at this race. Dakota Fenn's he's hungry for a win. Mrs. T, Alaska has their own time zone. Okay. Mr. Chili, I like this comment. Let's see. It's always a great race overseas. It will be cool to see some of the big guns at this race, like some big names from around Europe come to DNC. Absolutely, absolutely. One of my goals is always to try and poke the bear and get the Americans to come over and race here. Well, guess what? They're going to have to come to this track next year for the e-buggy World Championships if they want to participate. The first ever e-buggy World Championships. Yeah, next year it'll be official. It'll be e-buggy World Championship. Can you come down in May to our big race at Thornhill, Lone Star? I don't know, Jeff. That I kind of go where the streams go. So if there's a stream and they need a commentator, sure. Never been to Thornhill. Love it. Looks great. Would love to have it. Probably the best indoor track in America. And looks awesome. But never had the chance to go there. There will be no wood jumps at PNB this year, Trip. All natural jumps. No Joker Lane, no wall rides, nothing like that. That's the biggest. So what cover tracks do we have? So we have Thornhill. Yeah, Thornhill's the biggest in America. Absolutely, by far. Because what other, and that's 8 scale early tracks. So you have Thornhill, you have Mike's, you have Indy, so you have 3 right there in Texas. You have Omaha Hobbyplex for 8 scale during the winter. You have the Adrenaline track over in Virginia. Am I missing any more? Let's see. What other covered tracks are there? Soon to be one in Florida. Well, there's this S&S track in Florida. It's more 10 scale, but you can run 8 scale on it. Oliver Fisher, stop racing for today. Nope. They have not stopped. They're just waiting for the rain to stop for the e-buggies. I wish I had a sponsor that would send me overseas. Hey, man. It's not easy. That's all I'm going to say. You have to be... RC racing is a hard thing to do. And that's why there's only a few top drivers in the world. That track in Georgia. What track in Georgia? Oh, there's some... No, it's not in Georgia. It's in Tennessee. I know what you're talking about. Oh, there's 2 tracks in Tennessee. You got the ROCK. What one in Georgia? There's a covered 8-scale track in Georgia? You have the ROCCK, which is in Tennessee, in Knoxville, and then you have another track up there in Tennessee as well that's covered, that draws 8-scale. But I don't think there's a covered track in Georgia, a covered 8-scale permanent track. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Sebas.
Attention all drivers. We will have in 1 minute a drivers meeting. We call all drivers to the Times Square zone. All drivers to the
Okay, so they're going to have 1 minute, a meeting in 1 minute. Yeah, Jeff, but that's not a permanent track. I'm talking about actual permanent tracks. There's 2 in Georgia. You have the one that holds Wicked Weekend, which is awesome. Wicked Weekend was awesome. And then you have the other one up in Tiger, Georgia, for North Georgia Shootout in Peach State, which is similar. It has a roof, but open sides. So I like going to both of those venues. One from Argentina. ¿Cómo está, Sebas? ¿Todo bien?
drivers meeting.
You-
All drivers to the time schedule. Reunião pilotos, todos os pilotos aqui ao painel de informações.
So they're going to have a driver's meeting while I keep talking to you. And I have a feeling they're going to call the racing for the night because it's just raining too hard right now. Yep, I'll be at Wicked Weekend. I can't wait. I really enjoyed Wicked Weekend last year. We got some, we did that drone footage with Cooper Lycum. That was good. We got some big plans planned for Wicked Weekend.
Thank you for all the people for the effort, for the massa, the drivers, and all the people try to make the race. For today, we are going to stop the activity in the track. Tomorrow in the morning, the organization will be arrived at 6:30 or 7 and try to prepare the track. All the drivers must stay here tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning.
All right, so they have decided Bahia Blanco. So, guys, they are going to end the race for today because it's just raining too much. They're going to come early tomorrow morning to work on the track, and hopefully we can start racing at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So I do apologize. I do appreciate everybody that hung out with us today. I had a lot of fun calling this rain racing. It was something different. And we're going to end the race for today. I do apologize. I think it's the best thing to do because it's really raining very hard right now. But we do thank you all for coming out and hanging out with us. We'll start tomorrow around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And it was good hanging out with you all. I'm going to miss talking to you all at PNB next weekend. But it'll be some good coverage as well. From there, you have Scotty on the mic, so that would be great. But check out, it's going to be some good racing. And I'll be back here tomorrow to talk to you guys. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to do a podcast or something here as well. So we greatly appreciate it. We will start again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. This has been Lefty. I always love having you guys here and talking to you. You guys enjoy your day. Have a safe weekend of RC. Have a safe Easter. And happy Good Friday. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. That is it for us here at the IBC for today. Lefty and crew out. Nitrous to glory. E-Buggy pays the bills. And this is the International Buggy Challenge 2024. Thank you all for the support. We'll talk to you guys later. Lefty out.